Okay, so a little context here. This battle happened somewhere around 3 weeks ago. It was the Battle of Brundisium, a really good battle that I've been a part of. We emerged victorious. Spoiler alert.
Understood!
Moving on. So, we were deployed on the eastern zone of the map. The enemy could not sally out of this area, and we were facing the Seleucids and the Bactrians. On my side, my ally was Marcomanni, and I was playing Carthage. This was a 2v2 multiplayer, obviously. I only play multiplayer these days. So then I thought that the only place they could sally from is this gate right here. I knew that a lot of sallies have broken my attack with me having to focus a lot of troops to stave them off while less troops go into the walls. So I brought me some heavy cavalry and some mercenary heavy cavalry as well, and a little bit of light cavalry to do some scouting. As soon as the battle started, I moved my lighter cavalry forward
Quickly now!
so that I can have a better vision of this area to see if any cavalry actually sallies out, and whether they do or not, we'll come to know later. The battle starts. My friend got weak giant ballista, and I wanted to save some ballista rounds, but then they started get being fired upon, so I needed to start
Burn
shooting.
them!
It wastes a lot of rounds. Then we start getting
These
shot
weapons
upon.
clean! Cut them down!
Mercenary noble fighters and mercenary stand knight warriors.
Attack their position!
Heavy infantry mercenaries
To
led the
arms!
charge,
Break the lines!
while my lighter
Attack
mercenaries
their
stayed
position!
behind. I took a lot of Libyan
Cut
infantry
them
and
down!
my favorite
Hack them down!
sacred band, and a few African pikemen. I stuck to the
Armies,
1-2-4
move
format.
out!
Other players, I think, did not. It was a while back. Pretty sure I stopped firing at them because they stopped firing at me. My friend started moving with the siege towers, something I really did not want to waste my time in. We got shot at. A nimble mercenary moving forward to soak up the bullets as cannon fodder, while the tortoises slowly making their way ahead. And I think I was still watching the area for any possible sallies. They are Seleucids. They usually bring camels and Hellenic cataphracts, if I remember correctly. They had scorpion towers. Still, we took them on. We positioned my Libyan infantry. General stayed there. Cavalry hidden behind the wall, and my nimble cavalry moving forward, just right behind this. Did not get shot at. That used a lot of men though, but they were still just trying to push the lines behind. That was all that they were doing because the main fighting would have been done by the Libyan mercenaries and the sacred bands, which I moved here so that the scorpions could fire. But then the scorpions kept firing on the wall-mounted ballistas, wasting their ammunition. I just did not want to get into the scene of fighting on top of the wall, so I let my friend take it over, my ally. So quickly the walls come down with the tortoises. I just love them. We had a breach. One thing that they, one thing that they really did huge mistake is they kept fighting on the back foot. They kept retreating and then reforming, retreating and reforming. If they had stuck to this hilltop, like this position here, and then fought downhill, they could have staved us off for a longer time. This one was just cannon fodder. There were six men of them, very little, so just let them die anyway. It's not really a good idea to send a lot of troops together at the same time, but I did it anyway. It did work in my favor. Cavalry was still watching for any suspicious movement. Libyan infantry spawned the walls, and this is the area that I was talking about. They kept fighting on the back foot. That was probably a good idea. They didn't want to be hunted down the Libyan infantry. One thing they broke a huge rule was bringing a lot of missile units. See later. They were only supposed to bring 4, but they did bring more than that. Maybe that's why the infantry was ultimately weaker. They waste a lot of time trying to push back my infantry. I should have saved it for later or targeted my range units, which were very few in number. It's the tiredness that creeps in when you're fighting rounds with something you can't even cycle charge and help out. I did a hard push here. And one more thing that actually helped us was that they started fielding weaker units. We have one Bactrian Royal Guard. The rest are just medium melee infantry. So obviously when heavy Libyan infantry, heavy mercenary actually pushed through those lines, they had to fight on the back foot. And once we crossed the city, it would be much easier for us with them having to fight uphill. Here they're fighting on the back foot. Fast forward to later. Here they had the right idea of shooting on my soldiers right outside. The artillery kept threatening just here a little bit, there a little bit. They started pushing us more, but again they did melee infantry. At this point I was like, I'm not going to chase them through there. Some of our forces retreated, but
advance!
we did eventually form up this line. I was also letting the troops rest, and I still fired the artillery rounds there. Libyan infantry breaking belly up slingers. Find that they don't really do a really good job fielding their missile ammunition over buildings, which is why I didn't mind them. A lot of them. Another thing I was not happy with was the size of the units. I prefer 160. I had 120, but yeah, it was fun. If you see the Thorax swordsmen and the best units, the silver shield swordsmen, they just waited until the last moment. And that was probably what they did very well. The second one is ready to pour in.
Understood!
They kept fighting on the back. been quite a while since my hiatus of fighting total multiplayer game. Yeah, getting them on YouTube and Twitch. But yeah, I will be back soon. Got a lot on my plate currently. The Sacred Fans poured in through the wall breaches. Nimble mercenaries Qataris wasted the ammunition runs. They kept up with the friendly fire and the Bactrian Royal Guard. Amazing, yes. It also doesn't help them that I actively tried pushing people. Not able to fast forwarding without having a switch on the OBS, but I can watch it without taking a lot of damage here. I'm shadowing from missile shots, and they finally they're pushing forward. Hoplites pushing against middle infantry. That was terrible friendly fire. This guy did not stop shooting, no matter how many times he told him. The markers. The thing about sacred guns that I love is that no matter how bad they are getting hit, they don't falter easy. They fight. They don't give up. I don't want to be caught in the downhill, so I stay on top of the hill as much as I could. With the battle so large, it's all micromanaging everybody. Especially since this was a large army. I think it was 40 versus 40. Or as much as you could take. I think I took like 30 something. 36 or 34.
As you say! Spill the blood!
Kept pushing them behind. They could have had counter-attack this way, but then they finally did show their hand. I'm not really sure whether they noticed it then or if I didn't, but they had wrought camel spearmen, which I think they started selling out as well, right? Yeah, they did sell out. Most of my cavalry was blocking the rear lines. I think at some point I started noticing them and then just moved my cavalry off that. While we were still fighting shoulder to shoulder on this hill, somewhere out here I started noticing their sally, and then shifted the cavalry. I just don't remember when it was. I'll see. Get on this hill. I haven't even taken my archers there. archers. 2. I think that's when I noticed, right? Then why are they moving inside?
Double time!
Oh no, if I remember, I might not have noticed cavalry for quite a while actually. Cavalry might have moved inside to, yeah, to spear the Indian armored vehicles. And the best step of them. Because I'm pretty sure the noble cavalry were the only one with the bonus versus large. Maybe the noble cavalry also had some. No, they didn't. The sacred band had good bonus versus large, but I don't think the sacred band ran after the elephants. Just waited for the elephants to get there and then attack them. It does make sense. Companion cavalry. Missionary companion cavalry, right? No, it's noble cavalry. It's not companion cavalry, it's campaigning cavalry. Companion cavalry is Macedonian, I guess. There shouldn't be any complaints. I need to cross something. There's no African elephants, these are Indian armored elephants. This is like learning my rules. Goodness, they're learning now. But beyond that, I think it did take us quite a while before we could actually level down these elephants. And remember, I had to sally to look at them.
Warriors, withdraw! Run, curse you!
Back! Withdraw!
Captain Royal Cavalry, the general, going into a wall of hot
Into my Frenchman!
and the elephants were down.
That's me!
Gobbled up with spears. And long as spear is up. Heavy cavalry.
At the double!
Got them down! Also started deploying. Like African company.
Ring them! Spill the blood!
They are now
Ring them!
African and African type of women.
Double
Not very
time!
strong pikemen like the Spartans. Other factions too, but pikemen are still pikemen, right?
We understand! Get forward! Forward! Let's be good! Stop! Forever loyal! As you command!
So I stationed my noble cavalry behind and just kept the hill. Then letting the pikemen push that thing while they look at the shield. At this point, if the cavalry that was hiding here could have mobilized, they would have done quite some damage. Because see, we can't even see where they are. But I know that they are there.
Advance and flee!
Double time!
Follow! Quick march!
They kept falling back. And another wonderful attempt from the escort.
Forward!
Didn't get any shot at with foemen walls. Oh, I think might now control them, or they. Or maybe I was trying to barricade this entrance. They are unlocked very easily. All was shattered. Another
Double time!
project catapult. Almost all of them are
On quick march!
hoplites out here. Not sure what they are building. Yeah, I think I can.
Shatter them!
Engage! Land for Carthage!
Attack! Engage!
If I can start pushing it down, let's push that one, especially when it's handled by the second one
Let's
as well.
speed!
Riders, advance!
Get running!
Quick march! We understand!
Man, I kept the majority of this army outside them. Most of mine were already committed deep into enemy territory with almost every single one in the fight. Injured, tired, frustrated.
Victory now!
Run!
Advance and for glory!
There was the super cavalry not batting on the throne, I think.
Forward!
Still,
Exchange! Judas! Engage!
March at speed!
try to move in on the archers that they left exposed. There's so many exposed archers. Just look at that. While that Thorax infantry, they can defend them. In a time like this, we threaten our rear, then cavalry would have been forced to relocate their positions. Well, I might have given up on it. It's very far from here.
Forward!
Yeah, we could try to take advantage of this exposed position. Do what damage we could.
Advance!
But I didn't want my spear cavalry or even my heavy cavalry to get caught up with very little infantry or archers for that matter. So I think I really stuck heavily with what I could take and then just pull back. My nimble lighter infantry, it's medium infantry still, I mean even cavalry still, tried to pull inside. Not sure what I was going for there though. The main cavalry fight has not happened yet. They're still being fired at, but I really wanted this mercenary sir and archer to rout. And they did. I think I pulled back after that one. Or I just did a charge at them directly at the rear. pikemen, but not in formation. Way too easy. Anyway, at this point I tried resting some of my soldiers,
Double time!
slowing
For Carthage!
the movement forward. I think it's at this point that I noticed the cavalry coming in, mercenary time, and Bactrian horse, heavy many cavalry, and ranged many cavalry.
At the double!
Good, I still haven't noticed it yet. I think I will notice it very soon.
Double turn!
Yeah. Moving the Cretan archers inside. Securing all of the soldiers inside, which we did. Both of us did. And we're pulling back with fresher troops to hold the line.
Quick march!
Double time!
I think at this point I was like, why don't you fight? I think I've done enough. Nimble mercenary defending that lane. And just and do some damage on the inside. At some point though my character just marches outside, right?
Riders, advance!
Yeah. While the enemy is trying to
Double!
break all formations of the cavalry standards from the outside, swifter cavalry moved inside the walls and heavier cavalry moved out to fight them. Allied triumphs in a while, and then cavalry crashed atop the hills.
Are you ready?
Marcomanni got medium cavalry, while I got 4 bats of very heavy shock cavalry, 2 mercenary, 2 of them were mature mercenaries, and 1 medium cavalry to chase down ranged cavalry. So I think we took a rest, short break from fighting in the hills inside the city walls. I think it was the last point where ally actually took the initiative, kept them a little busy, and we dealt with the cavalry outside.
Advance at speed!
Cavalry moved forward.
Riders at the double!
Right forward!
We spread forward with the
Forward! Quickly
trying to take
now!
few units of cavalry
Advance
Quickly
at
pulled out
speed!
across units. But then what they did not see is that it was just a ruse. Mostly.
For glory!
They were using
Advance at
outnumbering
speed!
tactics to spread them piecemeal and then take them down with overwhelming numbers.
Advance! For glory!
And they brought heavy
Riders!
cavalry
Forward!
into this fighting.
Cut them down!
it look like as if we're chasing them and then suddenly using 3 units to overwhelm 1 unit. Maybe more. That was the idea I was going with. They didn't fight together, they fought very dispersed. That was probably one of the biggest drawbacks. The cavalry itself has killed so many soldiers ranking up. Medium level cavalry took out the Finnish cavalry. And this cavalry unit is now like faltered. Still, we did not let up. Once I had to manage and micromanage here, I didn't do much see all of that. I stuck to the cavalry fight itself here. Even the medium cavalry fought well that day. The medium cavalry now starts chasing down the Florentine cavalry. And see, this is the situation where they're actually pushing into this line. Could have helped the Bactrian noble horse. But it won't help them that much because they're still at 4, they had 2. Then we discover the enemy's camel spear and 4 units of medium heavy cavalry just waiting to strike. With the allies' cavalry losing on the battlefield, I think they retreated back to the city. See if they could pummel our infantry. We still had one
Quickly now!
noble horse to deal with.
Riders!
Advance at speed! Shattering!
All this surrounding them was what we did best. Spreading the soldiers apart piecemeal and then taking them off one by one, outnumbering every unit at least 3 to 1. After that, I think the cavalry battle was more than just done. Back inside the city walls, I think our troops were better rested now. Then it was just pushing in hoplites and phalanxes, pushing deeper and deeper in. And they huddle up near the main city center that we needed to capture. Took the left flank. Let him take this route. The cavalry were inside the walls by then. And he was just pushing them. That's where the best Thorax also do. It's Germanic strikes, Marcomanni.
Advance at speed!
from Aurelian's Civil War, but I think it's from Octavian's
Quick march!
Civil War.
Warriors, prepare! Prepare to die!
Finally, there's shields deployed.
At the double!
But I think it's to each their own. I mean, you can deploy your heavy infantry first and cut down their numbers. But then you end up losing most of your best units to archers who have a lot of ammo early game rather than late game. And then the other thing is where you keep your best soldiers till the last, but then you risk losing them all in one massive rout. I prefer sending the sacred band forward, at least when I'm attacking. Most of the times when I'm attacking. When I'm defending, it's the sacred band last. In this battle, it was an asymmetric effort input where I did a lot of heavy lifting early on. Used up even my reserve soldiers. See, there are none here. All of them are already in the battle lines. Just sandwich after sandwich. Soldiers are here. Even the scorpions don't do much damage. Also, get pulled in. Melee pushed across these lines. I think it's more of our Indian cavalry is checking if their cavalry makes a move. Sacred man still try to shift his lines. This Thorax also is slowly giving away economy. Now it's one battlefront and this one. The region push very hard. I didn't have a lot of soldiers left. Mostly because my army didn't really help early on, but I think that was his tactic. Having ESO swords, Germanic front of heavy melee, facing the tired lines, later on in the late game. While the silver shield swordsmen do really good damage and have good armor as well, better attack than Libyan infantry, better weapon damage than Libyan infantry, larger charge bonus, more melee defense, almost the same armor, better morale. The problem was that I had sacred bands here, and in such small areas, even a little bit of hoplite wall makes a lot of difference. And I think you can see how they got more archers than they were supposed to. It was a 1-2-4 battle, and still they got like 6. I think they got more because a lot of them routed already, but they didn't stick by the rules. Still, we did win. I think that by taking more archers, they could bring less heavy melee infantry. You think that would ultimately decide battle in these narrow streets. Cities. And so now they no longer hold deep. Morale uplifting central city point. And it's right retreating slowly. And I think, yeah, friend was trying something here. But it was stopped by she told me. And I might have rushed my medium cavalry there, but it goes hilariously wrong. The numbers dwindle, and pikes get there, and when pikes get there, the story changes. Like sarissa was actually making a huge difference. Check this out. There's 2 unit winning. I pull back, and then I attack again. And then we still lose. The balance of power has really shifted in our hands. At this point, even they could tell that they're gonna lose. They do lose. With the general shield bearers routing the slang faults. Cavalry is just getting in. We are trying to flank this position, right? It's not really required. Hoplites and fierce German warriors turn the tide. Let's see if we can see what the stats were like. There's a clear victory, it always is in multiplayer battles, and artillery did well. Cavalry also kill a lot. Range units hardly did. Pikemen killed a lot of units. And these Libyan infantry did as well. Even though they were cannon fodder, mostly noble fighters did kill a lot of soldiers, and the mercenaries didn't. Some sacred bands performed poorly while some did very well. And I did end up killing more than losing, and killing more than my friend did. Yeah. So, this battle happened somewhere on March 23rd or 24th of 2026, and Brundisium. Look at how much archers they got, even though they weren't supposed to. Anyway, it was a really good battle. I hope you enjoyed, and